In this video I will teach you how to build your own 3D printed plane and make it fly like a true beast. But let's start from the beginning. Last year I built several RC planes, either completely from scratch, like this weird looking flying umbrella, or modifying existing models, like this little glider. The problem? They never came back home in one piece. For that reason, I wanted to build the best plane I've ever had and try to fly it without breaking it. So looking up information online, I came across this 3D printed plane world in which simply by downloading files and printing them, you could literally have your very own model. So without any previous experience, I downloaded the model from Eclipson and started right off. After a few hours, I got my very first piece, the one that will be in the front of the plane. Honestly, it's really nice seeing the first piece coming out perfectly, but I had 60 more to go. So without any delays, I kept printing and printing day and night, setting up alarms so I could get the least amount of wasted time possible. All of that to make the best plane I've ever had. After just a few days, my very slow Ender 3 completed the entire body, all made with high resistance PLA from Sakata 3D. After having the body, it was time for the wings. In this case, the material was different. I chose lightweight PLA because the wings wouldn't suffer as much force as the body, and that way I could save up to 50% of the weight. And again, after a few days, my very old Ender 3 managed to finish yet another job. The entire wings, tail, stabilizer and control surfaces were completed, marking the end of the printing part. With all that, it was time to put it together. For that, we will need some special glue, steel wires and other materials. Remember that all the links to the products that I've been using are in the description below. For the construction, it is as easy as putting the pieces together with the glue, following the instructions in the PDF, taking into consideration the cases where you need to add some reinforcement, like on the wings, where 3 carbon fiber tubes were mandatory for the wings to resist the lift forces and not get bent upwards. Also, I will highly recommend any of you to name the parts, because trust me that you will not be distinguishing between flap 1A and aileron 1A in a pile of parts. With this trick, putting it all together was super fun and easier than I expected. The last bit of building was the landing gear, which honestly was a big need for getting our premium plane back home in one piece. For that, I cut 2 metal bars, then bent them into place and secured them into the plane's base. Finally, the wheels were mounted into the metal, creating the entire structure of the plane. With this beauty here, we wouldn't fly much. The electronics were needed, so I bought the best servos I could find, the electric motor, and I recycled the rest because I'm not a big YouTuber and I cannot spend more than 40 euros on a project. But anyways, it will work. This plane was a 5-channel plane, meaning we had the elevator, ailerons, motor, tail and flaps. All those movements were done by servos. A total of 6 servos were gonna be on board. So I started with the 2 in the back. They were simply screwed into position using the screws provided. And in order to reach the very back of the plane, a metal bar was needed. Yes, it was the exactly same metal bar that we used to reinforce the plane's body. At the very back of the plane, the metal wire connected to a push rod that made the elevator move. I did the same process for the tail yaw. Having the back ready, it was time to prepare the ailerons, which were an easy task. All I had to do is screw them into place and connect the 2 wires into a duplicator. As the servos were placed facing opposite directions and the duplicator was sending the exact same angle, both outputs were opposite, meaning when an aileron went up, the other one went down, which is exactly what we wanted. But with the flap, the exact same thing happened. They were going in different directions, when the flaps had to move both in the same direction. That was a problem. The solution for this was with a normal radio to play with the channels, but with my very old recycled RC controller, I couldn't do so. So I was really frustrated and thought the project will have to take off without flaps. Fortunately, an idea came to mind. What if we read the signal from the receiver with an Arduino and then send the same signal back to a servo and the inverted signal to the other servo? That way we would get the same angles on both servos. And after some coding and testing, that was exactly what solved the problem. Flaps were back into the project. Finally, the engine was very easy as well. Some screws, connect some cables and test the direction of the wind to make sure it was pushing the right way. Once all the electronics were fully working as expected, I placed a huge Velcro tape inside. With that, I could have all the components inside fully secured and easily movable if needed. The plane was almost done. The only missing bit were the cameras, because what kind of YouTuber am I if I don't put any cameras up in the skies? For that matter, and specifically to save weight, I took apart all the non-essential parts of some cheap action cameras. I have a video talking about it on the channel, but the point now was to find a cool spot to locate the cameras. After thinking about it, I thought the best two spots were below, pointing to the ground, and in the back, pointing to the front of the plane. We managed to install the camera looking down, but the one in the back had no place to stay. So I had to design a small piece that was gonna be glued into place so the camera would sit safely there. The only missing bit was to place the stickers with the names of all the people that have supported the channel, either with donations or by being a member. Special shout out to Sakata 3D for giving me the best filaments possible, and Eclipson for giving me the 3D files. Thank you all very much. I also baptized the plane. The name for this beauty is Sully, and Sully was finally ready to fly. I went to my local airfield, where all my friends from the hobby were waiting for me to see the plane fly. We took the pre-flight really seriously, and I even got a pre-flight checklist in case I missed something. After the calibration and the experts' approval, it was time to see if it flew or not. After months of work, I was finally here with the plane, ready to fly. I took it, ran it with all my energy, and pushed it into the skies, hoping it was gonna be enough. And surely it was. The plane was flying for the first time in its life. Seeing something you have fully built rise up to the skies is one of the best experiences one can have. But I was yet not piloting the plane. My expert friend Rodri was making sure the plane was behaving properly before handing me the controls. In Rodri's opinion, the plane was flying amazing. So sure enough, he gave me the controls. Now, I had the plane. I had the controls of the beast. The full process. You build it, you fly it. It comes to mind to think about all those planes I had to crash in order to finally take the decision of making a proper one. And oh boy, was I proud of this plane. It was floating through the air like it was nothing, filming videos from really high up. I'm also extremely grateful to all the people that are helping me and supporting me, because truly, without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Finally, it came back perfectly fine, unlike all the other planes I've flown, giving me the opportunity to add many more features to this plane. Surely, it was a breathtaking moment for me, and one feeling I wish you all could live. For that reason, all the STL files are on a 20% discount on eclipsonairplanes.com. Make sure to use it before buying any model you want. Thank you all for watching.